Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I feel like this is about to start talking. I got my hang on. We're gonna talk about Bitcoin. We're gonna talk about the market. I know the market's closed tomorrow. So for everyone that is worried about that. Uh Futures, I think, did open tonight. There'll be nothing. I think they're even open tomorrow till like noon. A lot of times they are. I don't actually check or worry about it. But like the normal Sunday streams, we're gonna go over the expected moves. I do want to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin selling off. I see a lot of fear mongering, a lot of the red thumbnail types. Um, Cyber B says, "Hey Don, how are you, brother? I am absolutely cold. To be honest, I'm freezing." Uh, Side note, and why it's late tonight and why it's not its normal time. Doing a house project and painting this current property, and so I turned the furnace off and everything. So I'm using an airless sprayer, shooting the whole room, and it's a bit frosty when you open the window. Let out. It's like -10. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So that's about all I can say. I'm cold. All right, let's cover Bitcoin first because I feel like that's what everyone's going to click on as far as like the thumbnail goes. We'll probably bring most of the majority in. All right, so we had this inside. If you guys ever use my charts, right, and you guys have them, whether you're from the Patreon or my group, whatever it is, anytime you see these horizontal red lines, that just signifies. There we go. Big words. Just that we're inside. So if it doesn't match, we're just on a different time frame. Usually it's a 4 hour day. It's kind of all I really care about. And we use this as by we, I mean most people in my group. I do. Again, charts are my notes. That's really all they are. So the next day, when alerts go off or anything like that, and I open my phone and look at it, I can think, okay, here we go. That's what I was thinking when I had the full real estate of my screen. So closing above or below would be bullish or bearish. We finally got the close below, and it just kind of sent it back down. We're right here at this zone, which is a pretty decent sell-off for Bitcoin. And I gotta say, we talked about this. Buy the rumor, sell the news. The ETFs were approved, and there was just no hedging going on. I really care about Bitcoin when people are using it as a hedge for the dollar, or when I see a lot of market participation. I like the big players, not people on Facebook. No offense to anybody, but just not moving the market. Is Bitcoin selling off due to fundamentals, or is it really gonna go down? It's a really weird way to put it. Is it selling off due to fundamentals, or is it really gonna go down? What fundamental? I think more buy the rumor, sell the news. Because we talked about this run up going into it. Let's bring up the dollar right here. The dollar's still gone sideways. So not a lot of hedging. Typically, if the dollar starts to sell off and Bitcoin starts to really rise up, inverse of each other, then I know someone's hedging the dollar with Bitcoin. And that's why I was so gung-ho about it the last time I was at 16,000. And again, most of you guys have heard this, but I do Forex. I was watching the currency. Bitcoin happened to be up as some dollar news came out. I saw them both interacting, sparked my interest, and I got crazy. He says fundamentally going down. Alex says I hedge it hard. I'm just short the dollar. I would love for Bitcoin to go up. Yeah, if you guys could do me a solid, hit the thumbs up button for me. Still gonna go live tomorrow. Which is anytime there's ever like the market's closed Monday. The Sunday stream is always on Monday. This is kind of an extra one. But that being said, that was my biggest clue as to why Bitcoin would be a buy the rumor, sell the news. And I have its own video talking about this. There just wasn't that hedging activity. This was a run up into the ETFs. They got approved. Pretty drastic sell off. So we got to see who our buyers and who our sellers are currently right now. Right now we're holding this zone. I really wanted it to come down. Would be really cool to come down to this 30 mark. 30 mark, I'm for sure buying a lot more. At the 35, 36, looks like I'm for sure grabbing some more because we might just go sideways. We might go drop down, then take it sideways. Kind of watching this over. Let's get this out of the way. Kind of watching this overall trend for now. That being said, I am short the dollar. So if I do watch the dollar react, or if I watch Bitcoin react to the dollar, that changes everything. And I'm going in. For those of you guys that don't know, sorry if you've heard this 1,000 times. At least you haven't heard as many times as me. Kevin has an expiring coupon code. I buy Bitcoin every week. I don't really trade it. The volatility, the fills, not really there for me. Plus all the fees. But I buy it every week. I take that same amount. I put it into a savings account. That's it, automatic every week. So when we get those sell-offs, that's when I move the savings account in. That's how personally I dollar cost average into things. That's how I always have just that dry powder, that extra little bit. It always brings my averages down as well too. I find that to be a much better way to dollar cost average. So right now, and I'll let everybody know when I do dump the savings in. Right now, it's just the weekly buy. Um, I think I would be a little bit more surprised if it held this zone the whole way. Not saying it can't, but um, I don't know. For this kind of run up to only see that kind of pullback, I don't know. As far as the ETFs go, they have a year basically to dial it in. Long story short, you do buy Ethereum. Yeah, so it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then the same amount into savings. How is Ethereum doing? Am I rich? Does it go? Oh, it's just hanging out. Rejected that zone, and that's it. Uh, Interesting. Bitcoin sucks, bro. Yeah, bro. So you don't have a lot of Bitcoin, or you do? Serious question, because I people have come in here and said how much they hated Bitcoin, and then they have it. They're like, they can kind of see that it's going up, and I don't even make fun of that because there's some things that like it just keeps going up. You're like, I absolutely hate this, but as long as the buyers are there and it's making you money, why not? As far as what are the ETFs? That's not it, right? It's not Beto. This is the futures one. Gosh, I forgot what the other one was called. I have a percent of a coin, but no coin. I'm all about Richard Hart products. What is the ETF? What's the BlackRock ETF? Very few people own an entire Bitcoin, something like 5%. I knew I was special. What I mean is Bitcoin really going to be done, or is it fake news? Oh no, I personally I don't think so. I bet. Thank you. And people have already asked me about breaking this down, zoning it out. It is worthless. I wouldn't worry about this right now. You'll watch this slip and slide, kind of all over the place, but really kind of hone it in over the next few months. It's going to be a race to see who can move with Bitcoin the fastest. So personally, I don't. I'll never own this. Now, if there's options on this, I might entertain some of that. Until options get involved, I don't know why I would be in this. I feel much better just buying the actual Bitcoin. I've had plenty of people buy my course with Bitcoin. It's not on the website or anything. Just if you want to, you have to like DM me. But still transacting in it, storing it. I kind of like all the actual use cases for Bitcoin, not just trade it like a stock. Alex said special ed. Knew that was coming. But hey, the short bus was cool. Didn't take long to get it on and off. So for that being said, as far as price action goes, maybe this makes a zone for now. If you want, we kind of have an explosive exit. We can call it that. Sounds more like a Taco Bell description than anything else. Anytime there is an IPO or anything, people are like, oh, are there zones? It's been live for about 40 minutes. No, we don't know anything about buyers and sellers yet. I have 4K liquid to invest this week, all in on crypto. Fire breathing hamster. Love that name. Gosh, that is a more loaded question than you think. 4K liquid, and this isn't financial advice, but what are your goals? What do you want to do? I do a lot of trading. If I'm just gonna buy it and check that thing in 5 years, when you say all in on crypto, that's a little scary because there's Bitcoin and there's everything else, and there's a lot of just junk out there. 99.99999% of those coins I would never touch and I would just laugh at. Bitcoin and really Ethereum are the only ones. What about Instacart? What is it? Why do I'm gonna need more on that. We were just talking about Instacart, but I have no idea why. Get it and forget it. Um, Man, can you do something? So something I talk about a lot with just like my following in general. Try to do something like think about it like this. If you're gonna just deploy money, I don't care how much it is. Where's my shapes at? Triangle. Kapow. Is that right in the middle? All right. So let's break this down. Investments, dividends. A lot of times it's usually like this. Stuff to invest in. Let's really break this down. Let's go and we can probably make that just a tad bit bigger. All right, investing. Green on green, why not? Dividends. And people that usually don't know how to trade talk about dividends a lot. Uh they're just kind of weird. Let's bring that up to the middle. Careful with the whole YouTube thing and dividends. They are cool. A normal good dividend will pay about 4%. The markets will outperform it. You get a paycheck. It is a taxable event. Uh, you know, mm, Not all they're cracked up to be. We'll call this last section trading. This is the spicy section. So your funds for trading, right there, the in and out game, the speculation. If you wanted to, where would I put crypto? Crypto, even though it's in the investing category, allocation wise would be about right here. Hang on. Trading, uh, crypto investing. Right there. And I would just really dividends could probably be a little bit more like this. Dividends are cool as far as trading goes because they do kind of if you dig yourself into a hole with trading, the dividends can kind of help fill that in. It's more like a garden shovel and a lot of like little tiny hand shovels filling it back in. But it corrects a lot of mistakes while the investing just grows over time. So if I were to just jump in 4K and I'm going to call it investing, man, my risk tolerance is a lot more than everyone else. Um, just because I'm in this a lot. I am pretty bullish Bitcoin, but you really have to ask yourself, what are your goals? Can that 4K go? If like 4K goes away for me, my alert wouldn't even go off on my phone. So that could be someone's retirement. There's two different spectrums. Uh, so I would try to just come up with, hey, if it's going to disappear, what I want. I certainly would want some S&P in there. Um, S&P. I can almost break that down into. Man, I would want an AI. Bitcoin, S&P, Microsoft. Microsoft's like a little bit of AMD as well because they partnered up. Nvidia's expensive, but ooh, how would I break that down? 4K. How could I break that down? 500 in Bitcoin. We got a share of Nvidia, and now I'm just set. Hang on, guys. This do not copy this, but let's just break this down a little bit. How do you feel about this Bitcoin ETF? If you just don't know how to buy Bitcoin, you're not comfortable with it. I think the IBIT, the BlackRock one, is the one I would pick. But personally, I just prefer the actual Bitcoin. Like in like the cases I just went over a little bit ago. I've had people buy my course with crypto. Can't do that with the Bitcoin ETF. It can track it, so if you like its potential, at least you have something that tracks it. Um, Hang on, let's do some things. Spy, where are we at? Spy 470, 476. Okay, let's just go. We'll round up 477. Okay, what's we got to have meta in there. Okay, minus. Let's go 2 shares of these. 374 minus 374. Let's go Nvidia minus 547. This was a couple grand. That's a lot. So as far as exposure to tech goes, it's basically tech, other than our 1 share of SPY. Um, man. Um, energy. I don't know if I'd put any. Didn't mean to open a can of worms. This is why I go live. I like talking to you guys and answering stuff like this. Don't forget a dividend stock. What would I want for a dividend ticker? Let's go XOM. So hang on, let me write this down. We are SPY 1, NVIDIA 1, Meta, we are 2. Okay, let's go XOM. How many can we get with that? Let's grab 4 of those. Let's just call it 400. Yeah, 400 with 398 basically. Minus 398. So XOM 4 got a little bit of energy, a little bit of dividend action. PSEC. That's a $6 1%. This just seems kind of weak. I think I think I'd rather have XOM on this one. 50 people watching it, 69 people watching it. That thumbs up while we break this down. Okay, so we got 1,800 to spend. Gosh, the exposure to tech would be wild. You know, a lot of investing firms would probably laugh at this just off the top of my head because your exposure to tech would be wild. But I'm pretty bullish tech. I think tech is just gonna wreck AQB. I don't know. Help me out, guys. What are we doing? You want to go 800 Bitcoin? You know what would? Oh, I was about to say, let's call it a cool 1,000 on Bitcoin. Uh, yeah, let's go Bitcoin 1K. BTC 1K worth. So that gives us $830 to spend. 100 shares of SoFi, Doge, Diamond Hands. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, I would leave that. I wouldn't argue if it was. I would say $1,000 total, maybe 500 and 500, or just 1,000 into Bitcoin. But a lot of, I think, percentage wise, if Ethereum gets hyped up, you'll see better. But since this is an investment, I think I would lean more towards, if you're not actively managing it, I think Bitcoin holds it. What are we spending the $800 on? What else do we? We've got Nvidia. Let's check. We got Meta. I want to get something not tech. I mean, this is basically my investment account because it's just, ridiculous. 2 Meta, but no Tesla. I was just thinking that as I pulled up Microsoft. Did we grab Tesla? Honestly, if it's a buy, set and forget, it probably is worth having some Tesla in there. So we grabbed 2 shares of that, puts us at 440. We got about $400 left. Costco's not a bad one. How do we split this remainder up? That would be, we couldn't even do one. Gosh, Costco's just annihilated. Uh, Russell real estate. I don't really care for Nike. That's kind of garbage. Doesn't really do anything. Sells off sideways. Yeah, nothing. This has actually recently gone over my not my investment group, but just my group. And so here's the Rona crash. Here's the send up. Here's the taking it all back. You can pretend from here to here just doesn't even exist, but it's kind of just been sideways since. So I think there's better opportunity. Fractional shares. I think I'm gonna let Costco go for now, because honestly, if I had 4K to invest, what's more important, I think, is you buy these, but then you want that drip, that money coming in. Not to be confused with dividend reinvestment program, because that's what DRIP stands for. The dividends will automatically buy fractional shares. I think drip faucet. You just want some cash flow coming in. However much paycheck, 10% of check is absolutely phenomenal. But just get that dollar amount and just like everyone says, like, oh, I got to use all my check. Like, shut up, right? You're telling me if your check was $5, $10 cheaper, 20, let's just call it $20. Your check was $20 cheaper. That's your make or break. You have a financial issue. It's not an investing issue. At that point, you have a different problem. $20 a check. There's no way you shouldn't have $20 a check. And that's just if you're just scrounging. Technically, Nvidia's a dividend ticker. Just saying. Yeah, it kind of sucks though. Gosh, McDonald's is good. Let's check O. I kind of there might be an opportunity for O. It's a monthly dividend payer, so maybe that stacks up. Let's split it. Let's go Tesla and O. Tesla. Let's grab 830. Did we already click the minus? 830 minus 219. Okay, minus 219 minus 219. That's 3 Teslas. Tesla. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, hopefully Tech has a good year. And then how many O can we get? We'll call it $59. Okay. Minus 59, 1 minus 59, 2. I'm gonna need you to scrounge up $4 more and grab 3 O. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I kind of want to keep an eye on this now. I'm actually gonna make an Excel sheet just for this, and just see how well this performs at the end of the year. 1 SPY, 1 Nvidia, 2 Meta, 4 XOM, put 1K in Bitcoin, 3 Tesla, 3 O. Check me. Let's fight me at the end. Let's see how that performs at the end of the year. You're gonna get if there's any investors that are watching this, they might be if they like tech, they're probably really all about this. If they don't, it's gonna be a difference of opinion there. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Who wants to challenge me on this? Actually, this is gonna be a clip for sure. Let me know in the comments, either in this video, how you would spend 4K the exact same way I just did. And man, there's gonna be a prize at the end of the year. 4K. That's that. We're gonna buy it and let it go at the end of the year. Who performs the best? It's got to be in these comments this week. It's January 14th. It's got to be in these comments the end of this week. You have this week to figure out how to spend 4K. I'm in. Can you hold it up so I can screenshot it? I'll type it. I don't want to ruin this. I might have. Let's just do another sheet. Here we go. 4K invest. All right, so we have SPY, NVDA, Meta, XOM, BTC, TSLA. All right. SPY is what we call it? 4. We'll just do the exact number. 476.68. NVDA 547.10. That we're at? Okay. 547.10. Meta 374.49. XOM 9. Where are we at? 99.95. Okay, what is beat? This is 42, 35. 350. Let's try that again. Tesla 218.89, 218.89, oh 58.90. All right, now we had three shares, 1K. XOM was 4 shares. Meta is 2. Nvidia 1, and just for the sake of it, we'll SPY. Okay, screenshot that. Should be a fun challenge, but thought you were picking stocks for the next 5+ years, not just a year. Yeah, why not? This is what I would pick for the next 5 years. But let's see how it performs at the end of the year. People have a very short memory, so they'll be talking about it anyway. And then if you comment on this video and you enter this, I'll do another giveaway in 5 years. Think I'm kidding? 4K on Tesla, 15x. Yeah, and now if someone has just more balls than the other, they'll allocate their money into one. And that's kind of like cowboy style, wild wild west, and that can be really good or really bad. Now there's barely some energy, some real estate, crypto, tech, SPY. SPY, Nvidia, XOM, and O pay a dividend, so they'll eventually dig their way out. Pennies. It might take the next 40 years. But if tech has a bad day, that portfolio is going to be bad. But if I'm right and we get into a tech world, we're going for it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this just section up. To be clear, we're going to continue on with the video, but this is going to be a clip. It's going to be its own video. If you're watching this as its own video, then, whatever. This is part of a live stream. Why aren't you here? At the end of the year, giveaway for the best one, best performing one that's in the comments. And then I'm going to come back to this 5 years later and see who performs best then. But I need to have the ticker and how many. You don't have to put the price. Ticker, how many, and it better add up to 4K. I'm going to screenshot these, so there is no editing. So you better do your homework you have this week. And that'll be it. So make sure you comment. Share if you know any little ballsy guy that thinks they want to, compete. I've challenged every investor, I don't know how many times on YouTube. No one's ever taken me up on it. So if you know anybody that likes to compete, make sure he sees it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap that section up. All right. Alex says this one is going to be easy. Oh, Alex, what do you have in mind? Let's go over the expected moves real quick. As far as the dollar still sideways. It's open. It's moving right now. But again, we're kind of just watching this. Bullish above, bearish below on the daily close. Bitcoin, let's see if it holds this zone. We might see some buyers here. No surprise. There's a green candle right here. I would be more surprised than not if it held this zone. I kind of do think we see just a tad bit more selling off down to here. If it's short-lived, whatever, I don't know. I think personally we do see it somewhere down here at this zone, and I'd be comfortable buying more at the 35 mark. For me to dump in the savings on this, I would need to see it start being used as a hedge against the dollar and start rolling. And then at that point, like, hey, the train's leaving. It's time to get down. Let's go sheet 1. Let's get that back up here. These are the updated expected moves, by the way. Alex Rudnev. I don't know. Where are you at? Get that keyboard. Your keyboard obviously works. Start typing. He says this one's going to be easy. Now I'm excited to see what you have to say. My ex-wife can spend 4K faster than Bitcoin can drop. I know who won't agree. Trader Merlin. Almost no one he interviewed thinks S&P 500 will be green this year. Technically, in the last 5 years, if the first 5 days of the year were red, then the market was red. Whatever. We'll see. Do you see the natural gas going up or down? More than likely up. But be careful with the Widowmaker. Let's add that in real quick before I get to the normal futures. Net, yeah. Oh, it already has gone up. Mhm. This area right here will be a tough area to break. I can see why we bounced right. Yeah, literally right there. I would have on a smaller time frame. It kind of looks like we need to be focused on maybe this area right there. Hang on, we're gonna make this blue because that'll be a hang up spot regardless. Let's get my rectangle out right inside there. And then right inside here's where I got that zone. That'll be a spicy zone volatility wise. Okay, so we gapped down today. That is quite the gap down. Uh Gosh, I don't know. I think I would still be a buyer on this trend though. Am I buying Tesla at 180s? Yes. My son has 1500 sitting in a regular bank account where he can put it for a safe investment. Okay, because that bank account is basically just watching your money go away. Here's what your bank account's doing for anybody. Just going down. This is the dollar. That's how much your dollar's worth. I'm even short the dollar. Who said that? Interstate interstate screw. What are you, a highway patrol? Just kidding. I mean 1500 isn't gonna be, life changing. I would rather have 1500 in SPY on a red year than in the bank account. And I'm ridiculously short the dollar. Oh, a trucker. The fact that you're even thinking about that with your son has already put you a million miles ahead of everybody else. They will copycat. We'll put in the comments. I have a week to put your bet. Okay. I mean, hopefully, if it's good, someone copycats it for sure. Uh, am I buying NG at $3, 302 or 301? Um, it's been a while since I bought a natural gas contract. Either one of those would be in the zone for me. I would prefer it not. I would rather buy it now and stop out below today's wick, and that be the higher low coming in. So SPY, yeah. Okay, so SPY when it comes to that, this is the only thing that's time in versus timing. Okay, that's it. Ignore the drawing. We're gonna delete that now. As a matter of fact, everyone who says the stock market is time in versus timing is absolutely stupid. Okay, sorry, it is what it is. That only accounts to like an ETF like the S&P. Everything else it is all about timing and if it's even gonna stick around. But right now, no matter what time you got in, as long as you held and continued to add on, this is the monthly chart. This is 1997. So here's the .com crash. Here's the financial crisis. Here's the Rona crash that a crash so big we've never even seen happen before. All blips on there. So this one will be time in versus timing. Pays almost a negligible dividend, but still. Hang on, this is last. As far as if I'm buying natural gas right now, oh, it's like this looks crazy. It wouldn't be zone. This one would be a trend. The fact that it gapped down, maybe there's a gap fill. I would just go long right here. I would not want to hold a natural gas contract all the way. I'm hoping that's going to be a higher low, and there's some kind of trend play going on. I would buy it, tag out right here. I would still buy at this zone with a stop below that, but right now, I'd rather buy and stop out here than buy and have my stop way down here. Just dropped 1,500 on Tesla with a Robinhood account. Hope Tesla sticks around. I mean, I do think Tesla is going to be one of the big winners, but It's not certain. You know, it is certain. Whatever the big winner is likely going to be in SPY. Okay, Bitcoin. We've gone over that. As far as the Russell goes, kind of holding up at this kind of speed bump zone right here. Drop base. All right, now there's going to be a drop base drop or a drop base rally. So you guys can all be the judge. We're going to play the back and forth game in between the zones. Buyers here, sellers here. Personally, starting to look like that's about to break down. And when you look at the Russell, looks like an easy play because it's just horizontal. So horizontal until not. If I was bullish, I wouldn't want the lows from the 5th breaking. At that point, we're probably hopping on down. This, I imagine, would be like jumping out of a tree and just hitting branches on the way down. Yeah, break your fall for a little bit. Then you're just on your way down to the next one. Let's get these expected moves knocked out. All right, IWM 406, 406, 636, 546, 1062, 1013, not 187, 80, 1895 on NVIDIA, Amazon 391, 391, 381, 311, 0.39, 0.97, 1.56. All right. Boom. That was a lot faster doing the multiple monitor thing. There better be 70 likes on these videos total. I know I'm simulcasting to 2 channels, but I better have all the thumbs up. All right, so let's there's one standard deviation right here. How did the financials do? Ooh, I do kind of want to short the financials. It looks like they had a lot of big ones had earnings Friday. It did nothing, held that zone. Some of the comments was like, Don failed to mention financials. I was like, man, here you are. It gapped up, it sold off, it stayed inside the bright yellow box. You're welcome. Anyway, that is a bearish engulfing candle. So hopefully it just sends it. That is something I might actually short myself, which I got to say would be bearish the Russell. So that carries a weighting of like 22 or 23%. So the financials can move the Russell quite a bit. As far as the NASDAQ goes, drop down, bounce out of that zone, still above. So the question right now is, ignore all the other zones. Is this going to be a lower high or not? Now, we tried to get above. We sold off, ultimately closing the day, nothing. And then another day of absolutely nothing, just some chop. And then right now, technically it's a green candle. Here's all-time highs. If that is a lower high, I would look for a lower low, likely to tag this blue. But then what headlines, what fear-mongering, what's going on to get this sell-off? Because it's an election year, I do think they're going to start pushing things and things will start to get bullish later. I think there's going to be a crash. They're going to get it out of the way now. I know it sounds like they almost plan these things out. But I don't think we crash any later in the year. I think if there's going to be some kind of correction, pullback, or anything, it's kind of now or never. We'll be floating this thing up. So that's why I am in SPXS, a bearish ETF for the S&P. The NASDAQ could be a wild card. I worry about any tech ticker just popping off because they just got the right one. So that being said, I'm also kind of looking for any just kind of headlines, whatever the excuse is to bring this thing down. Call it inflation, call it whatever you want. Jeez, we have a lot of zones on here. Hang on, we'll draw these other ones later. Let's just get rid of some lines here. Sorry, I don't like everything looking cluttered. I'd rather we'll redraw it later. They'll be the same lines. All right. As it stands right now, bulls still very much in control. If you bought down here, this didn't even alert you. So we had a quick bounce. This in itself should probably tell you something's up. Pretty sharp sell off. It's like the bulls didn't get the memo that we're selling and it brought it back up here. Maybe they do and it turns this ship around. That's what I'll be watching out for. As far as the Qs go, one standard deviation. So one standard deviation would put us at all-time highs again. I don't understand after hours trading. Who and what does it? Everybody. Well, I guess not everybody. The volume's a lot lower. Just banker hours. Main guys left. Rustless small cap stocks like SoFi, Hood, etc. Yeah, it's small cap, the 2000. Just look up IWM and what's in there. Just Google. I mean, seriously, if you just Google it, it's usually one of the top links, and it'll just break it down for you real quick. As far as the S&P goes, not quite to all-time highs. That is all-time highs, right? I haven't got there yet. Now, this is what I said, 2-3 months ago, was that we would get by, we would get close, we wouldn't hit all-time highs. That's what I was saying almost 3 months ago now at this point. And I drew out the candles. I said we'd get there, we would get close, but we wouldn't get there. And now I'm kind of thinking it just makes more sense that they do kind of hit all-time highs, get all the bulls excited, and then drop it down. First and foremost, though, we have to at least get above this yellow zone right here. So same story as the NASDAQ. Drop down, hit that zone, bounce back up. Right now, anytime stocks push up, and it's had an impressive push up, we've been absolutely running. We go to the weekly right here. That's an absolute tear as far as the S&P goes. This is nothing. So anytime there's a push up, there's a pull over or pull back. Right now, all we're doing is pulling over. So by me being bearish or even talking about that, it's kind of like going up to the roulette wheel and just seeing a bunch of red and putting my money on black. Not the best strategy. Not if we were overbought, it was back there. We're kind of not so overbought at this point. Each time we pull back or pull over, it just takes a little bit off that overbought scenario. But like I said, I think the sell-off happens before, not after. Let's get this back down. I did not have these up last week, and I'm really sorry about that. Felt really weird. So there's our expected moves. Let's just knock them all out. Let's get down to Tesla, and then we can call it. Who's got anybody have earnings this week? SoFi is coming up. Ooh, that's 2. Hang on. I do want to answer. Did somebody ask me about Palantir? I thought maybe there's a Palantir question. We'll go over when we get there. Meta. I wish Meta would just chill out. I like it because I have a lot of it. It is my biggest position. But it does make me nervous when it just starts climbing like this. I held Meta through all of this. Yeah, I bought a lot more and I'm up a lot more. But still, this was my money moving in houses, and that was devastating. I did not like watching it. That's what the investments accounts are for, though, right? Anyway, just needs to chill. Wouldn't mind buying more, but I also like my money going up. Microsoft killing it. This is why tech is at all-time highs. Nvidia is just absolutely 4 standard deviations. Just no big deal for Nvidia last week. Apparently, Nvidia found the blue pill. That's all-time highs, isn't it? Yeah. And again, guys, before this does get asked, I can't. The zones, I know people call them magic, but I can't magically just make them up. The candles do kind of have to make the zone. So right now, pulling back into that would be a dip buy. Until then, we're hanging out. You can call it overbought, but if you're worried about anything being overbought, Nvidia's been overbought for like the last year. I asked what your opinion on Coin and Mara is for next week after they tanked last week. Probably more to come. You're not? Are you in the mentorship? Well, who's in the mentorship? Who? I'll look at Mara and Coin, but remember that one time I said they're probably selling off? Just saying. How do I feel about CrowdStrike? Is it CRWD? I know there's only 6,000 tickers, and I should know all of them. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. Amazon. What's our expected move? Man, Amazon went for it last week. Amazon was selling its own shares online. Ooh, that could be a decent. If that could be a decent pullback. If Amazon hits that 150 mark, this is my alert, by the way. I'm gonna scoot it up. We get there. I'm gonna sell some puts on that. Maybe some 145s. CRWD. Oh, knew it. You give me 1 second. Let me get this rest of these adjusted. And what's up with Apple? I know it's like a million downgrades right now. It kind of looks like a bear flag. I wouldn't be the most thrilled about buying Apple. Do I have it drawn out? Yeah. Here's the Apple Warren Buffett talked about and everybody knows and loves. Here's where it's at. You know, I heard a lot. There was a lot of like bearish headlines. They're shutting down their AI division. They're shutting down their AI division in California. I think they're moving it to Texas. Go figure. It's like 100 employees or something like that. What really annoys me about Apple, though, on a fundamental level, by the way, again, I sold 75 my position at 175. So all biases out there. I absolutely can't stand how everything runs on Chat GPT. There's so many large language models out there, all of them, and it's archaic talking to Siri. Like, how come Siri is not ran on this? How come I can't talk to Siri like I can Chat GPT? That seems like to me such an easy thing to have. And they don't, and that really bugs me because in an AI world, everyone's talking about it. Apple's like, yeah, what we do? Well, we might convert over to the USB-C port. Remember that one time took the headphone jack away? Like that really bugs me that they're not saying a lot of AI. And Apple loves to wait till somebody else has it really, and then they perfect it, like second player status. And maybe they come out and just show up with the best thing ever one day, but for now, that's really annoying me right now. Uh, anyway, let's talk about Google. What's this? Just going for it. Yeah, pulling back into that zone, I think would be the dip buy for now. I don't know why you wouldn't want to buy this right now. Get rid of these. All right. What's Ford doing? Ford. I do have a couple side bets going on about GM and Ford. Like personally, cash bets. I think they got 4 years left. 4. That's it. Not the companies. As far as the UAW. 4 years left, and then they're toast. Nothing in their contract talked about robots. The UAW has contracts as far as like temp employees versus full-time employees. And the way robots are picking up, they're gonna sneak right by. You're gonna go on strike. You're gonna leave. Won't even matter. You probably won't even be there. There'll be no work available. Laid off. RIP. As far as that goes, I do think that's probably going to make its way down to the 11 mark, but I would be curious to see how it holds that zone. I know it sold off before, but Ford really likes this $11 zone. Like, he likes to bounce there. So I don't mind selling 11 strike puts. I haven't added on to Ford in quite a bit, but I think I will if it pulls back any further. Sell some 11 strike puts on that. All right, Palantir. We get our now I bought Palantir in my so this is in the growth count. So everyone on the Patreon following that, you see me buy that every week. I also added quite a bit more in my main account, kind of hoping this is like a higher low. So right now, bear flag or reversal, but I do want to grab quite a bit more, quite a bit more than I already have. Either here or fingers crossed we get to the 15 mark. Hopefully no one, like, what is it if you cross more than 2 and just that's bad luck? Hopefully that doesn't happen. Whatever the superstition is, I don't want that. I don't want it back at 10. But I do want to get on this, and we're almost there. We're about to start selling calls as far as the growth count goes on this. So we're gonna have another source of income coming in as soon as we get to that 100 share mark. As it sits right now, again, bear flag or reversal. We got February 14th is what it looks like for earnings. So still have some time on that. Hopefully we start to juice some of those, get that Vega juiced up. All right, as far as Intel goes, this one, so I really like Intel, but I think we could probably, I would like it to hit that. It would be two standard deviations down this week if we were to hit it, but I think we can get Intel cheaper. I think Intel, after its massive run, needs to probably just scoot over a little bit, take some time off the clock, or pull back, and that's kind of where I'm at on that. But for upcoming, I really do like this. Here's one I haven't gone over on this channel yet, but I had no idea IBM is going to be an AI play. They're more into that than Apple is. Really annoying because I thought these guys were fossils. I was so wrong about these people that I thought they were literally going away. I was like, remember they had like the red and blue letters, like remember those guys? See them in a museum soon. They're making their play. So I don't have anything in this yet, but I think that probably won't be too long before I do. Let's talk about CrowdStrike. It's CrowdStrike and one Coin and Mara. CrowdStrike still going for it. I need to sell. I do need to sell this. I am gonna move my stop up on this. It looks like we're right in the zone. So Winnie the Pooh comes in, sells off right here. Make that white. I have too many positions as well. I have a lot of shares of stuff. So Costco, Crowd, DraftKings. There's a lot. Remember that whole string of earnings? I was like, I'm buying it. It took off. It was great. If you were there in the live stream, then you caught this play right here. Let me break it down. This was on Brad's channels in the chat, and I said, I just bought some. It popped up, said, and I'm green. And I've had the shares ever since. So hopefully things just keep going up. But as it sits tomorrow, actually on Tuesday. I need to remember. I'm going to put my stop. I'm going to give it 272.35 is where my stop's going to be at. Since your plan is to sell calls on Palantir, you have such a spread on the stocks you bought. How will you get a decent premium? Won't some of the shares being selling at a loss to get a decent premium? No. When I do things like that, I would rather, and people love to, I don't chase premium like a lot of option sellers do. Selling options is not a home run play. I call it children's allowance. I'd rather collect a couple bucks and not have to manage it. I'm selling decently out of the money anyway. It'll be a couple bucks. So with Palantir, I might end up going instead of weekly, every other week. But those green days right now, Palantir is pretty juiced up as far as the IV goes. So I still think we'll probably do all right, and it'll cover that ground quickly. I would rather collect peanuts. It's better than nothing. Than try to scoot it down, chase that premium, and then just one day it covers that ground, and then you're just kind of screwed. I'll keep track of the. I will keep track of the on an Excel document as far as the average cost goes, because I will for sure want to be selling above that. So I'll probably start posting that in the Patreon too, so people know my average cost on Palantir. All right, Mara, pump and dump status. No one called that. I haven't seen him in the chat right now. It's the first time another man said he would like to kiss me. He said, if you were sitting next to me, Don, I would kiss you. I took it as a compliment because Mara jumped up, tagged this zone. He grabbed puts. He grabbed puts at about $110, sold them, and he trailed them the whole way that day. Jumps up, grabs puts, just trails it like how I preach, trails it all the way down, tags him out over here, spends $100, sells each one for $700. Thought, man, so he was loving the yellow boxes. We jumped up, went from yellow zone to yellow zone. That is a zone to zone play. Honestly, doesn't theta decay deliver more rent than anything else? It's your theta. Yeah, theta regardless, as far as if it gets in the money, you still collect a week's worth of theta, if that makes sense. Palantir calls that to sell 2 weeks out to get a decent premium. Yeah, we might have a different opinion on premium, but either way, it'll still be more income. All right, as far as Mara goes, I bet that's going to gap down again. Pump and dump. And I talked about this being a pump and dump a while back as well, because people were telling me all the fundamental reasons why Mara's going up. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So fundamentally, things that changed overnight, huh? You have to discover a vaccine, the FDA approves it, all of that for it to be fundamentally rising that high. So that's why I did mock this a little bit. This is a pump and dump. I don't care about the Bitcoin ETF, nothing. This was momentum traders and momentum status. So if you like it fundamentally back down at these levels, might be a decent situation. I'd say 13 to 17 ish is what I'd probably wait for. As far as shorting this goes, it's not worth it to buy puts. Those puts are going to, for you to make money on puts, you'd have to, like, let's say buy an at the money put at $18, it'd probably have to drop to 7 for you to actually make money. You will pay to play on this, and a lot of times the play just will not be worth it. Maybe on some intraday stuff. Again, you can pay to play. You put up, it's the high stakes table. So you put that money up, and if you catch the right move, there's ways to make money on it. But execution is far more critical at this level. Why would anyone try to kiss anything hairy? Because this is legendary hair. Okay. Sometimes I'm Amish. That's why. But also, yeah, I don't get this. That's the last thing I want to kiss is a mustache. But, I give you $100 and you give me 700 times how many contracts? I might break a rule once or twice. All right, let's talk about coin. So I say $20, it's $20. But all right, as far as coin goes. Now, coin I actually do like. And I do want to grab some. This is my alert to buy coin right here. But I do want to check it out. And I even told everybody when I set this alert, when this alert goes off, if we are just barreling through, I'm not buying anything. If we kind of like dance around, hang out, then I do kind of like it. I do like coin, the company. What I don't like is people buying coin as their exposure to Bitcoin, because I think they're selling. Why wouldn't you lock in profits to go buy an actual direct ETF that's going to track the thing you like? A lot of people were buying coin because there wasn't a Bitcoin ETF and they didn't know how to buy Bitcoin. They wanted to buy it in their accounts. So they bought coin. I think those people are now your sellers on top of the momentum sellers that just bought for the pump and dump. So I do think once this cools off, I do like it, but I think it's going to get cheaper. But ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be a quick stream. It's supposed to be very quick. Shout out to everybody that's going to compete in this. And if you're just tuning in the beginning, someone said, if I have 4K, I'm going to invest it. What are we doing? So we spent the next 5 minutes discovering this. That's it right there. You're going to see in a separate video as well, because I'm just going to clip that out. So my 4K is SPY, NVIDIA, Meta, XOM, Bitcoin, Tesla, and O. And you have all week to put in the comments your 4K. You're going to buy it, leave it alone. We're going to check it at the end of the year. And then I'm going to check it again in 5 years. I'm going to screenshot all these and put them in a file. And then I'm just going to set a calendar. So I'm not going to forget this. And I'm doing some kind of prize, some kind of giveaway. Whoever is the top person. So you get ballsy. You put it all in a Tesla or Bitcoin, and you just send it. You can call it luck. You call it whatever you want. But a win is a win. But it has to be put in the comments. I'm screenshotting every one. If you're going to make any edits, you have till this Friday. But anyway, Jeff says, I got this. I'm excited to see what the comments say. I don't need the price. I'm going to add that up later. We can always look at it in the charts anyway. I need the ticker. I need how many shares. That's all I want to see. If it's a crypto, I need to see a dollar amount. I need to add that up and get to 4K. Don't get disqualified. Hopefully you have enough brains to figure that out. Ticker number. In the end, $4,000. Hopefully I made that simple enough for you guys. Because I'm going to make fun of you if you mess that up. There's no way you can. All right. But I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys will see me live tomorrow. Futures and options. Okay. It's an investment account. So if the options contract would have to be Um, yeah, no trading. There's no trading. So it'd have to be in options that you're going to just rock to zero or sorry, rock to the expiration. So there is no trading. There's no getting in and out. There is, you could technically buy a leap. Yeah, you could buy a leap for the next year. But um, you would have to do December's expiration, and I'm gonna see what it's worth at expiration. So that's that. If you want to grab shares, I don't care if it goes up 1,000,000% and then right back down. Yeah, in theory, you could have the coolest one, but you are going to buy this. You're going to delete the app and then check it December 25th on Christmas to see what's going on. That's the rules. December 30, 31 deadline. Okay. Yeah. That's what we're checking. Tomorrow's US holiday. Yes, tomorrow the market is closed. This was normally I do the Sunday stock talks. Um, but when the market's closed, I push it to Monday. I just at my desk, so I wanted to say what's up to you guys. But I am going to wrap it up here. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a good one.